So, welcome everyone. And first of all, happy Thanksgiving. So, it's the season, this is the last holiday before the season of giving. So, we are back again with another webinar. And yes, it's a familiar face. This is Jessica from My Legal Software. And today we are going to talk about something about the visibility for law firms and lawyers. Let's talk about SEO. And here with me is Michael, who's our SEO expert, who'll join me in this webinar. Say hi, Michael.
Hello, everyone. It's really good to be here. Thank you so much, Jessica. I'm hoping that we learn a lot and also share a lot in this session. Thank you.
Yes. So if you guys have any questions or any scenario experience you'd like to share about SEO or your challenges relating to it, just drop it in the comments. We are live on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and of course, LinkedIn. So just don't be shy to ask your questions, guys. It's free, there's no charges. So now, Michael, let us jump into the discussion. Let's talk
All
about
right.
SEO. Yeah. So let's clarify and define first. What is SEO, Michael?
Okay. Thank you so much, Jessica. So at the basic level, at the very basic level, SEO, also known as search engine optimization, can be described as ensuring or the process to ensuring that every single content or every single piece of information you have on the internet is visible to those individuals that need it. So if we're taking that a step higher, we would then say that search engine optimization is the process of making your web pages or your web content visible on the search engines when the individuals that need it search for it. That's pretty much search engine optimization in summary. Thank you.
Yeah, so basically, it's your digital presence. And this is not just for websites, right? It also includes
Yeah,
other digital presence.
exactly. Yeah, it does also include other digital presence. So your social media pages, your third-party blog posts, your service pages, your internal blogs, and every other thing around that. Pretty much.
Okay. All right. So now learning about that, let's talk about the goals or what usually is misunderstood because people's like, oh, I'm on SEO, and then that's it. They don't understand what the goals should be for SEO. So walk me through that, Michael.
Okay, so the goals for SEO at the basic level is to ensure that your presence or your digital presence is being found. So I think I said that already in the definition. So you're ensuring that whatever I'm putting online, so it doesn't just end at putting your stuff online. The primary goal is to ensure that when your information is put online, the people that you put that information for eventually find it when they need it. That's the first and most important goal of search engine optimization. Further goals for search engine optimization can now be to improve your brand awareness. So you're also ensuring that you're putting in place the necessary words that are related to your brand to ensure that when people look for terms related to you, they can find you. So you're improving your brand awareness. So when people search for immigration law, they don't just see the biggest lawyers in New York, they get to see other sub lawyers in New York as well. Another goal of search engine optimization would be to generate leads. So you want to ensure that if you have a piece of information you would like to exchange for the data of your target, you want to use search engine optimization to make sure that when your target search for that piece of information, or say, for example, you have an ebook that you would like to share with your target, you want to ensure that your targets can give you their emails, give you their phone numbers, give you their location for in exchange for that piece of data, your ebook. Also, I think to wrap it up, I would say search engine optimization is also aimed at generating traffic. So you have a website, you have a law firm website. Your website shouldn't just be dormant, right? The reason why you have a website is so you can be found. So generating traffic to your website is also one of the goals for search engine optimization. I think with these few points, we can we can sure go further with that. Thank you, Jessica.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Wait, but you mentioned that this means that a small law firm or like a starting lawyer with a good
Yeah,
SEO could rank along with the big guys. Is that right?
definitely, definitely.
Okay.
Definitely, that's very true. That's very
Mm-hmm.
true. Mind you, it will take some time and it takes some work. This is why you need to hire or talk to a professional. But definitely, that's not impossible.
Wow. See? So this is not just about the size of your company, because even if you're
Yeah,
just a starting lawyer or you're just starting your law firm, if you're
yeah.
doing your SEO right, you could be at
Hmm.
the top without even needing to pay, because this is SEO is all organic, correct?
Exactly, exactly. So there are the paid sites to search engine optimization. I think when we go further into more details, I would open up all of that. Except you want me to do that now?
Of course, well, sadly, guys, we don't have time for that because we want to focus on the visibility and, of course, SEO and the organic way to do it.
All right, sure, sure.
All right. Yeah. So as I mentioned about visibility, there's what we call topical authority, and this is a bit technical, especially for someone who's not doing marketing, someone who's not doing SEO. Could you tell us what topical authority is and how to know if you have one?
All right, all right. So, to further explain what topical authority is, like you said, some people have never heard of this before. So I will do something like a teacher this time. I'll break it down into two words. So, topic and authority. So, topic in itself refers to the information you're sharing. So, the headline that covers everything you're talking about. Say my topic could be immigration for Latinos. Immigration for Latinos could be a topic. Now, authority on the other hand means how much of I would say power or how much of wealth have I built around this topic. So if we put both of them together, topical authority just goes to show how much of weight, how much of authority, how much of
Mhm.
how much of strength do you command when it comes to that certain topic. So that's like topical authority at the most basic level. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for that explanation. So basically, if you have a very strong topical authority, you'll appear the first, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
definitely,
so
definitely. In other words,
that's the
that's
goal.
very true.
A strong topical authority is the goal for to say that you have successfully done your SEO. Hmm. But
Yeah.
topic. Mhm.
Topical authority is one of the sections for SEO that you need to put in place. So if you do just that and you neglect other things, it doesn't mean you've done your SEO right. But I think in the scope of this conversation, that's what we're focusing on. So that's just one sect. There are a whole lot of other things that you need to put in place to say that yes, my SEO has been done right. Both the technical, the non-technical, and the off page stuff. Thank you.
Hmm. Okay. Well, that's very interesting because I think a lot, not
Yeah,
just, starting lawyers, even some established law firms would like to have that authority in the topic. But
yeah.
um, when you're having that strong topical authority, is like context? Does context matter, or how do they play together?
Yes, yes, that's very true. That's very true. Context does matter. So one major mistake that people do when talking about SEO is that they just focus on the content. So there are two words here: content and context. Now, focusing on the content means you just want to keep putting information out there, and you don't really care as to how much of value this information provides in itself. For context, on the other hand, you are ensuring that it doesn't just end at immigration or immigration for Latinos. You are walking your audience through every single aspect of that topic. That's where you put more context to the topic, and then it improves your topical authority.
Mm, okay. That's very interesting
Yeah.
because, some people would just put content, and mind you, there's a lot going on AI, but I don't want to start the conversation here. That's going to take all our time. But
A lot
so,
of our
yeah,
time.
yeah, talk to me about like what makes a content context rich.
Okay, so I kind of touched on that a bit while I was explaining context and content. To ensure that your content is context rich, it means that you are putting yourself in the position of your audience and putting all of the information end to end across that particular topic. So I would give you an instance. Immigrate, like I said earlier, immigration for Latinos. So immigration for Latinos, you could start with, oh, okay, what are the several opportunities for immigration that Latinos have? That could be, say, one of the piece of information that's in your content. But you could also take it a step further to show them how to actually apply for that immigration. What are the necessary documents they need for that immigration process? Who are the individuals they need to be talking to concerning the immigration process? And where are the places they need to be to position themselves right for that immigration process? So if you notice, you could have two contents around immigration for Latinos on the internet, but one goes deeper into more context around immigration for Latinos. Now, with that, you have a context rich content. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Okay. But what would a content that's not context rich look like? Um, because I
Uh,
think a lot of people would like put a lot of keywords. Will that
hmm.
be enough for context?
So what content that are not context rich does for you is that it doesn't give you enough strength to I would use the word fight for the first position. I'm sure everybody wants to be in the first position, right?
Okay.
So yeah, so your topical authority, which is your strength on that topic, is built, is further strengthened. So it's like going to the gym and trying to lift weights and all of that. So the more context you have on your content gives you more muscles to fight with the guys on the first page, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be like the visual difference or a more practical difference between a context-rich content and a non-context-rich content.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
But let's say they want to build their credibility,
All right.
um, but they don't have the keywords. Is that also
Hmm.
okay?
All right. So credibility and keywords are kind of two distinct terms here. So when it comes to search engine optimization, credibility is more like proof or acceptance. Meaning, say for example, you have a lawyer that has 10 years of experience, has been recognized by the QCBA or by the New York Bar, and also has worked on, say, 50, has won like 50 cases, something like that. That is credibility. Now, when Google, the most popular search engine, sees that kind of individual, they automatically give you the best credibility score. Now,
Mm-hmm.
um, keywords, on the other hand, is used to further target a certain group of people or to further niche down on a topic. So, what
Mm-hmm.
keywords do for you is that they help you target right, they help you focus right. So, with keywords, you are ensuring that if my target is searching for immigration, I don't know why I keep using immigration for Latinos. Maybe so if my audience is searching for immigration for Latinos, I want to ensure I'm doing my keyword research around that, and I'm focusing on that particular group, and I'm ensuring that I'm not doing something away, totally away from immigration for Latinos, or Latino dishes or Italian dishes. That would be way
Mm-hmm.
off board. Yeah,
Mm-hmm. And these efforts usually are done within the website or the blog, like on page. Am I right?
exactly. Yeah. So these efforts in showing your credibility, these efforts in targeting keywords are done specific to at the top level, specific to the website itself, then breaking it down specific to the service pages, the information pages like the blogs, the about us page. You could also take it a step further to maximize third party platforms that offer you information sharing opportunity like Medium, like Blogger, like Substack, and all of that good stuff. And you could also even take it another step further to maximize opportunities like guest blogging and also social media and all of the other platforms away from your primary platform.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So actually, Michael, we have here a very, very interesting question
All right.
coming from one of our audience on YouTube. So let's see if
Okay.
we could flash the question here so that the rest could see. But let me see if I could read it. So it says here from Andy Green, if I'm very credible, the best of the best, is that
Mm-hmm.
enough to drive traffic? There's this follow up here. You said Google will put the most credible up first. Will my
Yeah.
credibility or credentials be enough?
All right. Thank you so much, Andy. So remember when I said that SEO is not just one singular part, it's like a combination of things. So there's something that Google calls the EAT score. So EAT score simply means the expertise, the authority, and the trust score. Now, credibility gives you, if you're the best in your class, if you're best in class, it automatically gives you the expert score. That's the expert, the E score, the letter E in the EAT score. I'm sure that makes sense. Now, for you to further show your credibility, you now
Mm-hmm.
have to build trust. You have to build trust. Now, how do you build trust? You have to start engaging with a certain group of people. You have to start building context rich content that people would see your credibility in and further engage with you. Such that when Google now sees that, oh, we've got Andy here giving us all of this beautiful information, he's an expert. And not just that, people are engaging with his content. His content is helping a lot of people, we're sharing a lot of his content, then Google decides to, oh yeah, let's push Andy up a bit. Let's push Andy up a bit. I hope that helps, Andy.
Oh, thank you for that also, Michael, and thank you, Andy, for the very, very interesting question. So, as you guys
You're
could see,
welcome.
they've been hearing from me the past webinars for those who are, returning viewers that SEO is a lot of stuff. There's a lot of layers to it. But what you guys don't know is the soldier behind this battle is actually Michael. I'm just helping them out with things here. But the expert behind it, that's helping us on our SEO audits. For those who'd like to claim it, we have a limited time. So just book a demo on our website and you could claim your SEO audit for free. You heard it here. We don't publish that. You don't see that on our social media. It's exclusive to those who are with us on our webinar and, of course, those we also meet on our events. So if you're hearing this, you could claim your free SEO audit, and Michael is going to take over the details, the data, the analytics behind that.
All right. Welcome back, Jessica.
Yeah. So for we have another question, Michael.
All right. Let's go.
So this is from Twitter, from Undisputed Yumis. It says, is keyword targeting enough in SEO? Hmm.
Okay. All right, Yomi. So I think I would reiterate this again. So search engine optimization is a combination of efforts. So it's a process. Like I said, it's the process to ensuring that your web content, the information you have provided the world with on the World Wide Web, is visible to the people you have provided before. So now with keyword targeting, what that does for you is ensure that those people you want to reach, those people that need your information, find it when they look for it. So that's what keyword targeting does for you. So aside from keyword targeting, aside from putting immigration for Latin, sorry about the multiple examples with that. So feel free to give me a context when you're asking your next question so I can further explain.
Mm,
But I would stick to immigration for Latinos. So you keyword targeting ensures that when your Latino audience is putting in the word immigration for Latinos, you come up in that search result, or you are being your content is part of the options that Google would give to the audience. So that's what keyword targeting does for you. Thank you.
mm-hmm. Okay. All right. That's a very good explanation of that. So we were talking earlier about on page, and I think I've briefly
Yeah.
mentioned this before, but let's just talk about it again. What are different kinds of SEO? Like if there's on page, is there off page?
Yeah, there is. There is off page. There is off page SEO. There's also what we call technical SEO. So that has a lot more to do with the technical elements that are being put in place to ensure that your website or your web content are performing at the best level, are performing at the best level they can perform.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so this is what I've been talking about. Like SEO is not just, keywords or writing your blog. Well,
Exactly.
before it was. Let me not reveal my age here, but like very, very long time ago, it used to be just that. But now it's a lot of things, and there's different SEO specific to what kind of website you have, what your
Mm-hmm.
objectives are, lead
Mm-hmm.
generation, brand awareness. Um,
Mm-hmm.
all these things are when you're like doing your on-page SEO.
Mm-hmm.
How do these efforts come together to help you? Like what efforts do you need to put to say that okay, on page wise I have done proper SEO?
Okay. Okay, so focusing on page now. So for on page SEO, I would start from the top to the bottom. Now, first thing you want to do is ensure that your page title, that's the words that show or the sentence that shows at the top of the search. That's like your page title. Is it relevant to the search term you're ranking for? So, say for example, same example again, immigration for Latinos. If I'm targeting immigration for Latinos, my page title has to be around that. I can't have I can't have family law for Latinos, or I can't have property law for Latinos when I'm trying to target for immigration, when I'm an immigration lawyer. So that's number one. That's for the page headline. Now for your page meta description, so most of these things are done on the back end. So on the on page, when people come, they don't really see that. But when they search on Google, Google pops that result up. Now your meta description also has to be relevant to that, to the content on your page and to the overall topic your page is trying to rank for. Now, after your meta description, you then move to your page outline. Now, depending on the page, you could have some images, you could have some infographics, you could have some videos, you could have some tables, some description, or all of some ebooks for download, and some all other information. Now, for that, you want to ensure that aside from the text on the page, media elements on your page are being optimized for that
Mm-hmm.
search term as well. So we're talking
Mm-hmm.
about alternative text for the images. We're talking about the right headline, putting the right H1, the right H2, the right H3, ensuring that I hope I'm
Mm.
not doing too much. So ensuring that all of
Uh-huh.
these things come together. So there's a whole lot more, but for the scope of these conversations, those are the basic things that you want to check out. You understand?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's a lot of technical terms there. It's like legalese for lawyers. Like if you're not a lawyer, like, huh? What's an
What's
H1?
that?
What's H2? So yes, this is where we are helping you guys, especially starting lawyers or those who are not very adept with marketing and
Yeah,
SEO and the digital side of things. It's like fixing your own case. You know, you're putting your evidence, you're putting all the attachments, you're making everything relevant. You're cutting out the parts that should not be there or is just like a distraction, or
yeah.
how could you say this? Like something that does not help but brings
Mm-hmm.
weight down instead of bringing things up. And it's like when you're fixing your case, you're making sure everything's properly labeled. Because if it's
Yeah.
not, if they say like this is the evidence for this incident and it's the evidence for the other, and then they check it, it's like why are these wrongly labeled? It's the same thing for on-page SEO, correct, Michael?
Yes, yes, that's very much. That's a perfect example. Thank you for that, Jessica. I think you're becoming an expert already.
I'm learning from the expert, and I they could see it from the results. Our clients are also happy with it. So because we also, just like every lawyer's key into details with the cases that they manage, we make sure that every single detail is not left out unattended, and
Mm-hmm.
it gets
Mm-hmm.
tedious. I'm not saying that a lawyer or anyone who's tech savvy can't do this, but if you're not coming from experience, it's gonna take a lot of time, right?
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. That's very true. Because for experts, we've made all the mistakes, we've learned all the lessons, so we can professionally tell you what works and what won't work, especially in the scope of your practice. So the same thing that a family law firm would do would be different from what a property law or one immigration lawyer is trying to do. Um, you would some of the basic principles will be applicable to everyone, but there are certain things, there are certain specifics for the law firm that you want to put in place to ensure that the law firm gets the best results possible. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, we have a question here from YouTube. This is very interesting from Yumi Samson. How long will it take my firm for SEO to rank in the first page? Wow, the pressure, Michael. First page. How long?
Oh boy. Oh boy. So I think just like every other marketing effort, one major thing that is synonymous to all marketing efforts is the patient side. So you want to ensure that you're not just putting in all that pressure, putting in all that money, and being under pressure yourself to get the results. You also want to ensure that all of the necessary steps and processes are being followed to the teeth to ensure you're not skipping out on something. So it takes about 6 months to a year, depending on the current standing of your law firm's website. So some auditing will be done. Like we do at my legal software, we provide you an audit of your website. So some auditing will be done. to assess where you currently stand, to assess what is currently happening to your website holistically. Then we begin to map out the strategies that will be implemented for you. So in doing that in-depth research or in-depth audit, we can now begin to stipulate a timeline. And also, it's a the competitiveness of your industry is also a factor. So if we have everybody in the first, second, third page, they're all heavyweights with so much context,
Mm-hmm.
so much context ready content, so much of
Uh-huh.
all that good stuff, and you don't have anything. Whoa, Yomi, that's gonna take a while.
Mm-hmm.
In building
Mm-hmm.
that authority. Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I
I hope that
think
helps. Thank you.
yeah, if they are putting in like unique stories specific
Mm-hmm.
to their experiences, of course, with
Yeah,
consideration of the data privacy and
yeah,
anonymity, all the ethical measures in it. If they're putting in more unique and they're putting it with like they're putting it on page, they got everything, they nailed everything, that's gonna help them with a heavyweight who's just putting it everywhere but the same content and context, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. I think we're just experiencing a tiny bit of technical difficulty on Michael's end. Um, but basically, if you have started your SEO, it's not like some instant food that just add hot water and then that's it. You got it, right? So SEO is like planting a seed and you need to keep nurturing it. And even if it's already a tree, if you've stopped caring for it, it's gonna stop and it's gonna wither slowly. But if you've stopped caring for it when it's young, it's faster. You're more vulnerable to break. But if you're taking care of your SEO like the past 5 years and suddenly you stopped, it's also not good. SEO is I think it's a lifestyle. It's
Exactly.
it's forever.
Exactly, exactly, Jessica. That's very correct. Very much correct. So it's something it's not a one-time effort. It's something you gradually implement and you consistently put in the effort. So you're not just you're not just writing 10 articles and loading it up on the website at once, like most people will do. It doesn't just
Mhm.
stop there. You also want to keep up the effort. You want to keep doing it month in, month out, day in, day out. And also do not forget the analytics and the evaluation. So you really know what works. You really want to see how your efforts are coming through. And you also want to see the areas you need to put some more effort in. Yeah, so just as you said, SEO isn't it's like a plant, yeah. You have to water, you have to keep adjusting, you have to keep reiterating. And permit me to say that's why you need an expert.
Yeah. Just before I jump into the next question, because this is also going to be very, very interesting. To anyone who's just joined or to those who have just joined, we're talking about SEO here, relating to the visibility for lawyers and law firms, especially those starting solo lawyers and small law firms, and the topical authority, the content and context. You guys could also just rewatch this from the start, but if you have any question, you could drop it on our YouTube, our Twitter. We're also on LinkedIn and Facebook. And guys, it's free. Just ask away, um, and we'll try our best to answer all of your questions. Okay, going back to the topic. You mentioned that there's just a lot, and I've been also mentioning this since at the start of this webinar. Um, and we both know that anyone can DIY this. We're not denying that reality to anyone, right, Michael?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we are not.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the difference between an what's could you walk me through the difference between someone who's just starting to do this and another one who's just experienced, and like what's the difference in terms of getting things done, or what things are actually done in terms of SEO?
All right. Thank you so much, Jessica. So the first thing that separates someone who has done this over and over, an expert, and someone who is trying this out for the first time is the process to taking the first step. So someone who's trying this out for the first time maybe just reads up something on Google, sees, okay, you need to write articles or you need to write content. So the person just goes writing content and writing content. But an expert, on the other hand, assesses the current situation of the website or the web page he's trying to work on. So you want to look through it and see, okay, what are the lapses? What are the lowest hanging points that we can see? So we're not just working with random information. We're doing some assessments before we make the first step. Next up would be the process to developing the content. So whatever the expert says that needs to be done, he then goes on to do that. So let me give the experts the first step of um, ensuring that all of the pages are indexed. So a newbie or someone who hasn't done this before doesn't may not even know what indexing means, may not
Mm-hmm.
even know the steps he needs to index all of the pages, to crawl all the pages. But an expert, on the other hand, would know what to do, knows how to integrate the tools,
Mm-hmm.
knows how to utilize them, ensuring that the pages are indexed. Now, so optimizing the headlines and the meta descriptions for keywords. So the newbie might just go ahead to just write stuff and put it in there and all of that,
Uh-huh.
and that's all. All the experts knows how to semantically place the keywords in every bit of information to ensure that you're not keyword stuffing, you're
Mm-hmm.
not putting random stuff and writing random words, and because you have immigration in that, you expect again you're done. Do you understand? So,
Mm-hmm.
in summary, I would say that one of the major things that separates the experts from the non-expert is the approach to performing this process, the approach to doing all the necessary things that need to be done
Mm-hmm.
holistically, bit by bit, to produce the search engine optimization results that that entity, that website needs at that particular time. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, because we have two more questions here, both from YouTube. This one is from Casey. How
All
much
right.
time do I need to master SEO? Wow, this is very, very tricky, Casey. This is very tricky. Michael, what's the number? Is there a number?
Okay. Is there a number to what exactly?
How much time do you need to master SEO? Because
Oh,
I honestly think there's none. Like it's a continuous process, if I understand it correctly.
okay. So I would say from this standpoint that it's a learning that never stops. So you're never a master. You just get to that point where you really know what ticks and what doesn't tick. And just like every other industry, search engine optimization and digital marketing in itself is an ever evolving industry. So inside Gist, Google just released their SEG, which
Oh
is an
yeah.
AI generated, will give you results generated by AI. We're never going to touch that, but this is just me saying. So with that on board, a
Mm,
lot of things are
mm,
changing. We need to take a lot of things into consideration. So it's an ever evolving space. I think what you should do to attain a level of proficiency is ensure that you do not lose your learning ability. So
mhm.
you are open to learning, constantly learning, you are constantly researching, so that whatever situation you are met with while trying to work on something, you have you are armed with the best information to solve that problem. So it's never ending. It's
Yeah.
never ending, Casey.
And I guess it's more on like not really just time, but the quality of work.
Mhm,
Because if, like, let's say all
mhm,
you're doing is just create content and context, and then that's it, you did not touch off on page SEO, you did not touch meta tagging, you did not touch the technical SEO, it's gonna limit your masteries with something so narrow that by the time you tap onto the others, like, whoa, there's a lot that has changed since the last time I looked into technical SEO, looked into this and that. So I think it's also on the quality. If anyone who's aspiring to be an SEO expert here that's watching, you just you just need to, widen your your scope, because technology is crazy changing faster than it
mhm.
had been in the past 5-10 years. So there's a lot of catching up. And speaking of someone who's learning SEO, we have another question here, Michael, relating
All
to
right.
the question from Casey, from still from Andy Green. Thank you for your questions, Andy. So what would you say is the most important thing to focus on for someone just starting the SEO journey? There seems to be a lot of different aspects that goes into this. Michael, take it away.
All right. For someone just starting, I think what you want to do for yourself is start by focusing on the general knowledge, like having some bit of information across board. Because, like I said, SEO is a combination of activities. So you do not want to sit too much, but there's a progression. There's a progression to that. But for focus, you want to ensure that you're feeding on information. You're feeding on information. You know, okay, this. You know how all of these things come. You might not know how to really implement them, but you know how they all come together to solve the problem. Now, by the time you are done with that, then the first step you want to focus on is the on-page SEO. Now, for on-page SEO, the reason why I would say on-page SEO is because on-page SEO is pretty like one part that you would always interact with. You would always be on the pages. You would always be trying to optimize the keywords. You always be trying to optimize the headlines, the meta tags. You always be trying to build all the internal links. So on-page SEO is something that you want to start with. Then as you familiarize yourself more with all the details of on-page SEO, you now want to go to the technical SEO where you understand better how things work on the back end to amplify your on-page results. So all of the linkings and all of that, you want to ensure that you then go to that place, indexing, the
Mhm.
search console, the tools, and all of that. Then thereafter, you want to now go to off-page SEO. So I've perfected my on-page, my technical looks good. How then do I maximize the opportunities out there to improve all of these efforts I have done? So then you now go to link building and all of that, maximizing social platforms and all of that good stuff. So everybody would have unique opinions concerning this, but for my journey so far, I think that's a roadmap I would do. Thank you. I hope that helps, Andy.
Yeah. Thank you for that question, Andy, and also thank you to Casey earlier. So, one of the things we have not discussed here that I think is also relevant with SEO. Well, for me, actually, as with my love for data, um,
Yeah.
this DIY tracking of um, data analytics or measuring your SEO efforts. Okay, guys,
All
just to,
right.
just a disclaimer: we're not gatekeeping this. These are actually free tools that you could use and start with your SEO journey. So walk us through that, Michael. So, like these things could be DIY, but also experts use these tools for tracking. And what do we track for SEO?
All right. So at the very basic level, one of the tools that you would always use is your search console. the Google Search Console. It used to be formerly known as Webmaster, but now it's called Google Search Console. I'm sure we all know that Google is the most popular search engine, and a lot of search are being performed there. There are also other tools that help you integrate other search engines, Bing and all of that, into your website. But let's start with Google Search Console. So Google Search Console gives you access to, I think, every data you would need. You could go ahead to try out tools like MOZ, Moz, use SEM Rush. You could use all of those other tools out there. But for the basic level, let's stick to Google Search Console. So Search Console allows you perform both technical SEO, which is ensuring that your website is crawled
Mm-hmm.
by Google. So
Mm-hmm.
all of the pages are seen, all of the information on the pages are seen. It also allows you to ensure that you can see the pages that have technical issues. So for your broken links, your fall for errors, pages that cannot be accessed, pages that contain information relevant to you and relevant to your audience, but for some problems cannot be seen. So Google Search Console allows you to see that as well. Now, Google Search Console also allows you to see the impressions you're getting. So, impressions? Pretty much how many times have you been seen?
Mm-hmm.
It allows you to you know that okay, for this page is getting so much visibility. How can I then improve the click-through rate, which is how much people are clicking on that page when they see it? How can I then improve that? Google Search Console also shows you your position
Mm-hmm.
in the results page, the average position. It allows you perform comparisons on dates. It allows you compare queries. That's
Mm-hmm.
what people are searching for, that's bringing you up the most. So Google Search Console is like the basic or most holistic tool you have in your arsenal. And considering the fact that you can't really even get your website or your web page visible to search engine and then visible to your audience, if you don't have it, I think one place you want to sit for a while is mastering Google Search Console.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so that's the hack, huh? That's a shortcut. Actually, I don't think it's a
Completely.
yeah. It's not really a shortcut, but it's a good foundation. You could always start
Good
somewhere
fun.
else, but starting from that is actually a very good foundation. It gives you a flexibility and more appreciation on the data side of things because, as I've always been mentioning on my webinars, you cannot manage what you cannot measure. So, as much as some of us would not love numbers, um, every now and then we need to measure our efforts so that we know if we're doing it right, where we need more work, and where we need more help in terms of at least the SEO side and the digital marketing side. Um, Michael also mentioned earlier, like impressions and yeah, those visibility. So um, that's it actually gets measured. I think what people think of like impressions is it's that's exclusive to digital media or like social media, and it's just specific to like views, but really every click could be measured, um, because
Yeah.
each page would have its own way of tracking who's clicking, who's looking at it, who's scrolling, even scrolling. Am I right,
Mhm.
Michael? Those
Yeah,
things can
yes,
get
yes.
measured. And okay, maybe just most or some lawyers watching us right now, they'd be like, oh my god, there's just so much information. This is exactly, guys, what we're telling you, that we can help you with this. If you'd like to book a demo or just drop a message on our LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook. We also have Instagram and TikTok. So just drop us a message, drop us a comment. We'll try our best to be in touch with you or to answer your question if it fits the characters limit on those comment boxes. So just drop us a question, drop us a message, and if you have a lot of questions, you could just book a demo. It's free. Our demo is free, and you could find it at mylegalsoftware.com. You could also visibly see it here on our number 934 Lotec. So we are actually towards the end of our discussion, Michael. Do you have any final words, key takeaways, and maybe a snippet of the tips and tricks before we wrap up?
All right. So in conclusion, I would say that one of the major things you want to avoid doing to buy yourself time and also to save yourself some money, which are the two most important parts of doing business, is that you want to avoid trial and error. If you have a website, if you have a business that you would need to take advantage of SEO on, get an expert to do it for you. That's one. And that's for the business people and the lawyers on this call. Now, for those of us that are looking to get into search engine optimization for a career, um, two things I would say is that you want to stay open to learning. The learning never stops. I kid you not, the learning never stops. And then also the next thing I would say is that you join a community where you can draw from people and improve your learning speed because you have people to get information from and also get yourself better. So those are my, I think that works.
Mm-hmm,
Thank
mm-hmm.
you, Jessica.
Yes, thank you too, Michael. So just before we close this, we have a Thanksgiving promo for those who'd like to avail our case management software. We have it for $1 for 4 months. That yes, it's $1 for each of those 4 months. Imagine the savings that you could get to your law firm. It could also help you scale. It could also help you manage your clients and do your invoicing on time because that also matters. Um, so yes, as we wrap up the topic about SEO, if you guys have any questions or topics that you'd like to suggest, we are open to that as well. You know where to find us. We have our website, mylegalsoftware.com, or call us at 934 Lawtech, or find us on our social media sites, My Legal Software. And for us, I think we are ending from here. It was nice to see you, Michael. This is your first time on the webinar. Thank you so much for your time. And for the
Thank you.
rest
Thank
of
you for
those who
coming.
watched us, thank you, thank you, thank you, and happy Thanksgiving to all of us. And see you in our next
Happy
webinar. Bye
Thanksgiving.
bye.
Bye.